I've tested all the best baby bouncers on the market, and in this video I hope to help you decide which one's right for you. If you're new here, I'm Emily. I'm the stroller mom. I review strollers and baby gear from a mom's perspective. I'm a mom of 3 kids, 4 and under, and I provide honest, unsponsored reviews of a mom who actually uses the product. So if you're not already, please be sure to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and shop through the links below. It really helps support this channel. So this video is a little different than what I normally do, but I'm super excited to do it. A baby bouncer, in my opinion, is an essential. It is something that has honestly saved me so much with my 3 kids, and I'm super excited to kind of break them all down and share like the pros and cons. And I've also had a lot of fun testing all of these. This is my OG that I've had since 2020. I recently got the Mira, which then led me to test the other ones because I'm like, all right, let's find out, and hopefully I can help parents decide which one's best, because there are a lot of options. I feel like when I had my first baby, it was pretty much the Baby Bjorn, or you had like the old school style bouncer. Now, there's, as you can see here, these are the top 3 options in like the true bouncer category. And then there's even more. There's also more budget-friendly options, which I'll touch on in a little bit. And then like the rocker, the Kori Maxi Cosi rocker, I tested that, so I'll share my feedback on that. But it's been really fun and interesting and definitely an essential. The reason why I say a baby bouncer is an essential over a swing or things like that is it's a portable place to sit your baby. And so having something, obviously in general, you don't want to use a lot of containers, as they're called, for your baby. You want to have them unobstructed movement, and so like a play mat is also an essential, but a baby bouncer is another place that's just really easy to move. The issue with most swings is they're not easy to move around your house, whereas a bouncer is. The other thing I will say about the bouncer is I don't know what it is about it, but its position helps your baby poop. Really weird. I call it the poop chair. It's a thing. The thing I love about all the ones I'll be talking here today is none of them have like a vibrating machine or anything with them. They all work off of your baby's natural movement, and that's really fun. My third is my first baby to actually like move in a bouncer, and I've really liked that. So starting out with the Baby Bjorn one, this is the first bouncer I had. This is what I've used for my first 2 babies, and honestly until very recently with my third, and I have really loved this thing. It is cotton, which I like. They have so many different colors available for it. So you can do mesh, you can do all of them. But personally, if you go with the Baby Bjorn one, I highly recommend getting the cotton just because it's so much more breathable. All of these are very easily washed. This one as well has been washed a ton because, like I said, it's the poop chair. Some people call it the blowout chair, and that's definitely been true for this one. So I've watched it a lot. You literally just take off these little steps here, pull it off, throw it in the wash, and then I usually air dry it just because of the color fading. It's faded some, but this retails for anywhere between $209 to $259, and it just comes with the seat. It doesn't come with the toy bar. The toy bar itself is $49, and they have a few different ones. They only had 2 back when I got it, but now I've noticed they've added a bunch more, and this moves off of your baby's movement. The biggest selling point to me on this one is the cotton covers, because none of these other ones have 100% cotton, and this one does. So that's why I like it. The buckles are a little bit tricky to do. You learn them. They have 2 different settings here, and then this works all the way up to your child being 29 pounds or 2 years old. They say you can like turn it around and it can be like a toddler seat. I personally haven't used that. I will say like the selling point of you can use it till 2, it's not really practical. Realistically, you use it till like 6, 7 months. My baby's still using it, but she's starting to crawl and sit up, so we're really coming to an end of the bouncer stage. So you can put it in here, and then this one weighs under 5 pounds. So this one's very, very light. The toy bar is like a tension one, which is kind of tricky. You have to like put it on like that. I also don't love that there's a giant warning label here, but I know they have to put it on. And then there's like the logo there. And then to adjust it, there are settings here on the side, and there's 3 different settings that you can put your baby in. It's tricky, it's hard to get to, and it's probably my least favorite feature about it is I've actually now realized there's easier ways to do it, but this is just how it was. And then if you can adjust it to various settings. So when your baby's littler, and then it bounces, and then it also lays flat here. I actually store this under my bed when I don't have babies, and it's so nice because when friends come over with babies, it's especially when they're under that sitting age, having a safe place to put your little one when you're at someone else's house is so nice. So I pull it out then. The biggest downside is it doesn't come with a travel cover. You can buy one, but I think it's like almost $50, and it gets really dusty. So like I'll wipe it off with a wet cloth because I don't always have time to clean it before they come. But that's the one downside of the Baby Bjorn one for me. Up next, we have the UPPAbaby Mira. This is a newer bouncer and probably my favorite option of them all. This is for a few reasons. Number one, it retails for $149, so you could actually get the toy bar and the bouncer for the same price as you would pay just to get the Baby Bjorn one, actually less than. And I love the toy bar on this one. There's two different options. They have this one, which is my favorite, and I think my daughter's favorite too, just based off how I watched her interact with the other ones. They also have one which has like cloth, I think owls or something on it. It comes with this all-weather seat and it comes with a dust bag. So again, I wouldn't have that issue for storing it. And then I like the mesh here as well. It's super easy to wash. And then it has this pretty wood detailing and you can adjust it rather than having to play under it. The adjustment actually comes here in the handle. Let's see if I can do it from this angle. And you can play with all the different settings. It also stores completely flat, has very similar buckles, like two different settings to the Baby Bjorn one. The only downside I have, like this would hands down be my favorite, the only downside is the material is polyester. It has like it's like a polyester blend, and I just don't like polyester. Like if it was cotton, hands down, everyone should just go with this one. But otherwise, I love it. I've been really, really happy with it. It's easy to wash. I like the mesh. It's easy to move around. The other biggest difference between this and then these two is this one weighs almost 8 pounds. This one weighs like 5. So there is a few pound difference, but again, it's still really portable. I've had no problems moving it around my house and have been really happy with that. Okay, so a little buddy decided to join me and maybe she'll show you how she does her crazy bouncing thing. We have the Ergo Evolve 3-in-1 bouncer, and what makes this bouncer super unique is it's wider and it also has an infant insert. So this one retails for $199 plus the toy bar is $49. So all the toy bars are right around like $40 to $50 something dollars, and they have a few different kinds. They have a wood one and then they have this one. I will say in general, this toy bar is the one she liked the least. So if you are gonna go with this one, I would do the wooden toy bar. And I did just see right now they're running a promotion where you can get a toy bar with the purchase of the bouncer. They did give me a promo code for 15% off of this one. And in general, I like it. I mean, it was bigger. You have to do the adjustment from the back. There's nothing, like I cannot complain about this bouncer in general. It is larger, so it takes up more space. It's heavier. It's actually pretty close to the same as the Mira. The Mira is heavy because of this wood device here, and this one's just heavy, I think, because it's just so big. The mechanism's so big. I will say it's been the most trickiest for me to figure out the up and down mechanism, but it is pretty straightforward. You just have to like unlock it and then do it, and then you're fine. The buckles are my favorite on this one. And it also stores flat. You can get a travel bag for this one for $29. So it is a good option, and it is also washable. The hardest part, I would say, of the options though, this one's the hardest just because you have to feed it through this back section here. But it's really not bad. They're all pretty easy to wash and straightforward, which is good. The final one I want to talk about here of these options before I get to the last two I'm going to mention that I tested is the Baby Delight Bouncer. This one was the first one that was similar to the Baby Bjorn one on the market. It came with a toy bar. It retails for $89.99, comes with a toy bar and a travel bag. So bang for your buck, that's the best one. The thing I will say is there is a noticeable quality difference between this one and those. One, you can just see it's wider, so it's a similar width to the Ergobaby, but just the positioning of your baby, especially in those early months, I would say 0 to 2 months, which is like the main 2.5, 3, depending on how small your baby is, it just feels like they're swallowed up in it. It has a similar adjustment mechanism to the Baby Bjorn one, which is not my favorite, and the toys don't stay. As you can see, they're lost. So that's the other thing. The buckles, it kind of just like comes around where you can feel like they're really supported in their crotch area. I feel like it comes around. If budget is what you need, it can get the job done, and it's definitely a better option than some of those like vibrating, like old school bouncers. So if you have to go with one, you can do that. But I will say preference-wise, there is a quality difference. If you can spend up to get the Mira, I would, or if you can find one secondhand, I would. The other thing I will say on that is you do not get the longevity of these other ones. Your baby will age out at 20 pounds. They say up to 6 months. So that's kind of the recommended age on the Baby Delight. The other two bouncers I want to give a shout out to is the Boon Slant. This bouncer, the reason I did not include that in the lineup is it doesn't have a toy bar. And I feel like one of the main value adds of a bouncer is having like a little toy bar, especially as they get older. So not just only a portable spot, but for that. You can get some universal ones, but again, when you're trying to do universal, generally it doesn't work awesome. So if anyone has a universal toy bar they love, I'd love it if you'd let me know on that. So comment that below. And then the other one I tested was the Maxi Cosi Kori rocker. So it's a rocker, not a bouncer. but it supposedly works off of your own baby's movement. I will say in general, I wasn't super impressed with it. There's no toy bar for it. It'd be kind of hard to based off how wide it is, and it's clunky. Like, it doesn't rock super naturally. It's really pretty, but for me, again, if you're gonna spend that money, it's like $139. If you're gonna spend the money, you might as well get the UPPAbaby one. So that's kind of the breakdown on all of them. None of them are bad. I think you could be happy with all of them, but I think there's pros and cons to each of them. So in summary, which is the best bouncer? Ultimately, it's up to you. There's a few different reasons. I think this one's amazing from the fact that it's cotton. I really like that, and they have a lot of cover options. I think this is the best for the price. Aesthetic, they have 3 different colors. I love the toy bar on this one, even in how like it connects, it's super nice. I love that it includes a dust bag. The Ergobaby is unique in its infant insert and also being wider. And then this one's a great budget option that gives you the toy bar and the dust bag for a really affordable price. And then you also have the Boon Slant and the rocker if you need something, if you want something kind of different than a traditional bouncer. I hope this video was helpful. If it is, please be sure to subscribe, like this video, and comment below on if you'd like to see other videos like this in the future. Thanks for watching.